So this is the third of our series of videos about Q4X. The first one was why we created it, and we really did create it with you in mind. The second one was what all is there and what all content is there for your benefit and from you, recognizing you as an exemplary role model performer. In this third one, we're going to talk a little bit about how. And specifically, how you get information that you find, particularly the internal content right now. The external content, you'll just basically right-click, do a save as, get into Q4X, and put it in a treasure chest. But in this case, you found a picture and a paragraph that you're really interested in. Not right now. You don't need it right now, but you want it for later. So Jackie's going to explain how you get this into your treasure chest so that you can find it later.
Indeed. So what you see here is the picture and paragraphs screen. And you may be tromping through here looking at all of the different articles that are available, and you find one that you want to save for later. You can see here we're showing that you may find this elevation strategic planning process to be of interest. So if you click on that, you'll see the article come up, and it'll look something like this. It has the picture, and then while it's not exactly one paragraph, it's a short explanation of the process or the approach that's described. There's some information in there that would help you identify the organization, and you'll see down at the very bottom on the left there's an X, and we call this Xing it or exit. So if you click on the X so that you can save it, you'll have some kind of a pop-up screen that'll come and ask if you want to save it to your individual treasure map, or if you're a member of an organization, it will also give you the option to save it to the organizational repository. The organization's repository then can accept information from any of the organizational members and create these large data sets, and you may want to save it onto both your individual and your organizational. If you select either one of those, the next step is to identify if you want to save the content into an existing or a new treasure chest. You will be going to your treasure map, and you're going to have to be able to identify it. So if you've got an existing treasure chest, there's two ways that you can identify or find the treasure chest. One of them is by typing in all or part of the name of the treasure chest, and the other way is by browsing. So let's look at browsing first. If you select the browsing, it will bring up for you a list of all of the continents. Each of the land masses in the map is a continent, and there's 9 of them. You'll see there's leadership and communication and planning and customers. Well, in this instance, because it's a strategic planning process, we'll click on planning, or on the planning, and it brings up a list of regions. From here, you'll select the region that's most appropriate, and the one that would be the most appropriate for this article would be the strategic planning region. And if you click on that, then you're getting closer and closer now to the treasure chest. This is a list of the treasure chests that currently exist in the map for that continent, and you can select one of these, or if you find that there's not a treasure chest that's appropriate once you're down at this level, then you can type in the name of a new one and it will add it for you. So let's say you save it to the miscellaneous treasure chest. You'll see that it went ahead and saved it, and it tells you it saved it to planning, strategic planning, treasure chest, miscellaneous.
Cool. So now I can find it again.
Absolutely. Now, if you select the option to type in all or part of the name of the treasure chest, you remember back here, once we had clicked the X on this article, there was the option to be an organizational treasure chest, or individual, or both. And here we're going to click individual, and then the next pop-up asks if you want to put it in an existing or a new treasure chest, and if existing, do you want to start typing in? So we started typing in miscellaneous here, and it brings up all of the different treasure chests that are called miscellaneous. And here you can see that on the planning continent, the strategic planning region, there's a treasure chest called miscellaneous. Also on the workforce continent and in the development region, there's a miscellaneous, and on the operations in the learning,
there's a miscellaneous.
There's a miscellaneous.
And look, if I don't find one I like, I can create a new one
That's there. Right there.
Making it so simple.
Yep. So you're going to select one of those, and it will automatically save it to whatever you select. So if you've selected new treasure chest to create a new one, what happens is you will, here again, you're going to select your individual treasure chest, and you're going to select new, and it's going to give you the option of identifying the continent that you want to put it in. So we'd, of course, go to planning, and then we'd go to the region of strategic planning, and then simply type in the name of the treasure chest, and it will save it to the planning treasure chest for strategic planning and miscellaneous.
So it's up to you as an individual, or if you're part of an organization, it's still up to you as an individual part of an organization, how many treasure chests you want to have, what you want them to be named, where you want to place them on your map. You can use this in any way that you choose to use it. So maybe that's the easy part, and the hard part for most people is finding the article. We already talked in the prior video about the data jail, or the
right.
tech version of the computer ate my homework. This is really intended to be the antidote to that problem. So let's find it.
So from your home screen or any of the screens that has the main menu, up at the top, there's an option to go to your treasure map. There's also the option to go to your organizational treasure map if you're part of an organization. So let's go to the treasure map. There's 4 different views of the treasure map. At the 15% view, what you're seeing is the entire globe, so to speak. And tell them about the X's in the continents. When do you have an X?
You know what? We told you this was going to be a whole new world. This doesn't look anything like Earth, does it?
It's not even close.
No. It's got 9 continents, and you can see all the continental names on there. And these represent the key systems that are within an organization for organizational success.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the continents have specific regions, which are the approaches or the key processes that have been well documented, well demonstrated to create the conditions for success at the organization. So what we're looking for here and what we're looking at here is the Quest for X world. So if I want to find something in this world, it's so much easier than on Earth. All I have to do is, while I'm on the map, type in the name of the continent or of the content that I want to find. Now, this is very different than this search function up here at the top of the screen. This searches the whole Quest for X website. Whether you found something already or not, it will pop up. This search box on your treasure map screen, this is only the stuff that you've saved.
Right.
So if you know a keyword, if you know the title of it, this is where you'll be able to search to find it. So what do the X's mean on the continents? Well, like many organizations, this particular person has found really interesting content on, and has at least one treasure map on each of the continents.
And 8 of them.
Except communication.
They don't have any interest in communication.
Like I said, it's a common problem with many organizations. They just don't have that communication thing quite squared away. It's one of the top 3 on almost every single customer or workforce satisfaction tool, is that communication is lacking. So that's kind of why we built it that way on here. But you'll see that all of these X's, and all the X means at this 15% view is that there is a treasure chest somewhere on that continent that has some content in it. Because again, when you're zoomed out to this whole world view of the map, you really just don't see a whole lot of detail.
Okay. Now you can also find content. Once you've actually typed in something and hit the search button, your results will come up, and show you all of the matching hits that you've got. And there may be multiple with the same information that you typed in. Like here I typed in elevation strategic planning. Well, there's 4 different documents that begin with elevation strategic planning. And so here you'll just click on the one that you actually want to go see.
Okay.
You can also go find the content by clicking on the X's. So if you clicked on that X, it takes you to the next level view, and you would be able to get down to the planning continent where you actually saved that document on strategic planning.
So in this case, now we're zoomed in a little bit more. You don't see the whole world anymore. Again, we're kind of ignoring communications. It's not even on the map now.
Off the radar chart.
Totally off the chart. But we're really focused right now on the planning continent. And you begin to see at this 45% view, now you see the regions within the continent. So you can again type in here the name of the content to find that's more specific to a particular continent if you know which continent you're looking for something on specifically.
And it'll come up the same way. It'll give you all of your options, or you can click on the X there on the planning continent and it'll take you into the next level view, which is the
75% view.
Hoorah!
Now in the 75% view, you'll notice that the X has gone away, because remember the X only indicated that there was some content on that continent somewhere.
Wow, that was hard to say.
It was, but I did it.
I'm impressed.
At the 75% view now, you see the individual treasure chests. And if you click on one of those, it opens the treasure chest and you can actually see the content of what's on inside that treasure chest.
Now, these are the different treasure chests that are within the strategic planning region.
Okay, so we have opened the miscellaneous treasure chest, and you can see in there, these are the gemstones that are present in that particular treasure chest right now. So you can also just search the contents of one treasure chest. And you'll notice that in this case, we do have lots of treasure chests around on lots of different areas on the various content in the various continents.
So when you click on that miscellaneous treasure chest, you can see what the different articles or content components are that are within that treasure chest by itself.
And so in this case, we were looking for elevation strategic planning process. We actually knew where it was, so we just zoomed right into that miscellaneous treasure chest, and there it is. So we can find it either by searching for it on the search bar, or by going to the continent where we think we left it, and into the region where we think we buried that treasure, and into that particular treasure chest, and finding it that way.
Now, if we hadn't have found it, we do have the option of clicking on that treasure chest that's there on the strategic planning continent and going to the next level percentage view.
Okay, which is
100%.
100%. So this is as zoomed in as you get, and in this case now you start to see multiple treasure chests all over everywhere. Many of them, again, however many you have saved, you've created, and again you can get into one single treasure chest, open it up, view the contents of it at this particular zooming view. So now you know why we think Q4X will help to make the world a better place. You know pretty much all of the features and functions that are in this brave new world that we are creating with your help, and you know how to use the site for learning and sharing and improving. Welcome to our world.